Hello and welcome to Dingoes Ate My Podcast. I'm Paul,
And I'm Dave.
and this week we're discussing the episode Slouching Toward Bethlehem. This episode originally aired October 27th, 2002, attracting approximately 4.13 million viewers. Alrighty, so let us start off with the number one movie in America this week. Any idea what it might be, Mr. David? We had The Ring last week. Is it going to hold the box office dominance or will it be replaced?
That's the question. So I'm trying to think it around this time, because I think I remember mentioning to you last week about a particular one, but I don't think it will be coming up this soon. Hmm,
I will give you a
and I can't think
hint.
of any other particular movie that would jump over the ring from there, because
Uh,
it was The Ring.
I'm going to give you a hint. It is a movie based on a TV series that was, I think it was still airing at the time. I'm pretty sure.
Because I have one, but it probably wasn't actually happening for a couple of years as of yet. The only other one that I can immediately think of, TV wise, became a movie. Mm,
Yes.
mm,
And a,
I
and
can't
a very
exactly
successful
pinpoint it.
film. No ideas? Okay.
You, yeah.
So it is Jackass the movie with $22.7 million.
On the one hand, I'm not surprised because it was a thing. It technically still is kind of a thing, but nevertheless, it's a marvelous case of I probably heard about it, possibly was too young about it, and or smart enough to be like, this isn't my form of entertainment.
Have you never seen the Jackass movie?
I don't believe so, no.
Oh, okay. I,
I
I
can completely understand it, but also a case of I don't think this is my type of entertainment.
it is in no way clever entertainment, but it is quite funny.
Yeah, understandable, but still.
Alrighty. So moving on to music. Any idea what the number one song in America would be at this time?
I wouldn't be surprised if it just stuck around from last week.
It is still Dilemma by Nelly featuring Kelly Rowland, although not for long.
Alrighties.
Moving right along. So, video games. Oh my god.
It's
It
another one of those times of the year, isn't it?
um yeah, you could say that. You could say that. All right. I'm going to start off easy, Dave. October 27th, if you had a PS2, I can almost guarantee you bought this game. It was a little game called Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Surprisingly enough, no.
You didn't have Vice. Oh my god. Vice City was my favorite
Well, my
GTA game.
apologies for not immediately getting caught up in all the craziness of Grand Theft Auto. My pickup wasn't until San Andreas.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, see, Vice City was my favorite, and it still is.
It's understandable, but still also a case of I have not touched it.
Oh, it's such a good game. Anyway, moving on. Still on the 27th, if you had a PS2, you could pick up Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2003.
Because it was a thing.
The golf games were big back then.
It definitely was.
Also on the 27th, if you had an Xbox, you could pick up a game called Toxic Grind, which looks like a BMX kind of thing, from the box art at least.
Not surprising.
Oh, it looks like it's skateboarding, BMXing, and inline skating. Okay. Um,
Supposed yay.
no, apparently, GameSpot had it as a runner-up for worst game of the year on Xbox.
Congratulations. Not in
That's,
the best way, but congratulations nevertheless.
I mean, I guess. On October 28th, if you had a Game Boy Advance, and God, I hope this isn't the first. Um, I hope this isn't how you experience this game for the first time, but you could pick up Doom 2 Hell on Earth.
We're so sorry.
Like, Doom 2 is such a good game, but don't play it on the Game Boy Advance.
There are better systems out there.
Many. Okay, on October 28th, if you were still rocking the Game Boy Color, you could pick up Hamtaro Ham Hams Unite.
Yes.
Sounds like some kind of Japanese anime thing.
Well, it was. It was Hamtaro about a little hamster and all of his little hamster friends.
I don't remember this. On October.
Possibly for the best, but still, it is adorable and the cootsies.
Okay. On October 28th, if you had a PS2, an Xbox, or a GameCube, you could pick up Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Yes.
Also on the 28th, if you had a PS2, you could pick up DDR Max Dance Dance Revolution.
Because it was a thing that you could do. They even had the dance pad for you.
They certainly did. On October 28th, if you had a PS2, you could pick up a game called Jet X2O, which is like a watercraft racing stunt game.
Oh, okay. For a second there, I thought it was a supposed re-release or additional game within the spray can roller skating particular one. Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, no, it's not. Unfortunately, that would have been great. Also on October 28th, if you had a Game Boy Advance, you could pick up Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. Which, I mean, I guess, if you want to play it on a Game Boy Advance.
You could take the game with you, which would just be about it.
On October 29th, if you had a Game Boy Advance, you could pick up Dexter's Lab Chess Challenge. Which, I mean, again, I guess, if you really want to.
It's a thing, but still, it's kind of a case of you'd maybe want to make it a teeny bit more interesting, but yeah, if they're just making it on a whim.
And if you, on October 29th, if you had a GameCube, you could pick up a little game called Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2.
Indeed, it was a thing.
I think, wasn't this the only game in North America that used GameCube Online?
I believe so. There might have been a case of with the release when it came out in Japan, they had it on other systems to get it online and do other sorts of things from it. But here in the States, it just came on GameCube.
Yeah, I think it. Oh no, Phantasy Star Episode 3, the online also had online play in North America, but I don't think anything else did.
Yeah, no, it wasn't until the far later ones that we actually really got online and were like, "Holy crap, this is a series."
Yes. October 30th, if you were a PC gamer, you could pick up a game called Neocron, which is like a cyberpunk MMORPG, which I
Suppose it needs.
never heard of. On Halloween, you had two games you could choose from, and I'm going to argue that one was a much better choice than the other. If you had a Game Boy Advance, you could pick up Reign of Fire.
Because you know, that was an interesting game with the dragons.
I guess. Or if you had a PS2, you could pick up a little game called WWE SmackDown Shut Your Mouth.
I think out of the two, I'm probably going to have to agree. That would probably be the better pick.
Oh, shut your mouth. Look, it might not be the best PS2 wrestling game, but it's one of the best.
It is on the list.
It is. It is beaten by its successor, though, Here Comes the Pain. And I can't wait till we get to Here Comes the Pain, because, oh my god.
Duly noted.
Anyway, moving along, on November 1st, if you're a PC gamer, oh my god, did you get a hell of a game here. You could go to the stores and pick up Age of Mythology.
Supposed needs?
You're not familiar with Age of Mythology?
Like, maybe vaguely, but it's not being pinned down in my brain.
So it's... Did you ever play Age of Empires?
I believe so, or I've seen a little bit of that.
Okay, so it's a spin-off of Age of Empires, but instead of being like a king and commanding like troops, you're like one of the like gods from like Greek or Egyptian or Norse mythology.
Oh, okay. It's not just keeping to one, going to a couple different religions and being like, let's see how we can mess up the world.
Yes, I remember this game being a ton of fun, and I'm going to have to download it on Steam.
Duly noted.
Also on November 1st, if you had a Game Boy Advance, you could pick up, now I'm going to butcher trying to pronounce this, Bionicle Matoran Adventures.
Suppose it needs. It was one of the Bionicle games.
It certainly was. And finally, if you had a PS2, and I don't know why you would buy this game, but you certainly could, PK Out of the Shadows. It looks like it's some Donald Duck superhero thing.
Oh no, I vaguely remember this. Because after it was out on one system, it came out to a bunch of other systems.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like it gets released to GameCube later this year. Alrighty, so that is it for video games, and my god, the rest of this year is, I'm just gonna say right now, pretty friggin' banging.
I wouldn't be surprised if you looked into particular videos on YouTube. It'd be like 2002 was the best year for video games.
Oh, whoa. They would be making a hell of an argument just based off the list I've got in front of me. Anyway, that will be for a future time, though. Alright.
Indeed.
So let us get into the episode. Alright. So, okay, so Cordelia abruptly returns from her higher dimension in the lobby of the Hyperion Hotel, but she has no memory of who she is and who her friends are. Despite Angel's attempts to jog her memory back, Connor, who secretly sneaked back into the hotel, overhears everything from the upper balcony. Not wanting to make her feel uncomfortable, Angel and the group decide to keep their demon hunting business a secret, as well as the fact that, Angel being a vampire. That whole thing.
One of the super major big things.
Yes. Cordelia becomes increasingly mistrustful of Angel, Fred, and Gunn due to their secretiveness. Lauren tries to read Cordelia's future and sees jumbled visions of apocalyptic horror, which scares him to the point that he flees to his room and is reluctant to tell Angel what he saw. Cordelia has an encounter with the lobby with one of Lauren's clients, a nasty demon who wants to snack on her, and she is saved by Connor, who appears and kills the demon. She flees from the hotel and ends up with Connor at his run-down loft, where she asks him to be her protector. After one of their trysts in his apartment, Wesley overhears Lila talking to her subordinates at Wolfram and Hart on her cell phone about Cordelia's reappearance and sending a team to kidnap her. He goes to the Hyperion Hotel to tip off Angel, Fred, and Gunn about it. An armed team from Wolfram and Hart forcibly enter Connor's loft and fight with Connor and Cordelia. The two are almost on the verge of losing when Angel, Fred, and Gunn burst in and even the odds. Lila, who's been remotely monitoring the events, tells her team to leave. Cordelia tells Angel that she prefers to stay with Connor rather than go back with him, Fred, and Gunn. When Angel and his team arrive back at the Hyperion, they find Lauren gagged and tied to a chair. Lauren reveals that while they were gone, another Wolfram and Hart team came and used a demon to forcibly extract his visions about Cordelia from his mind, since they believed that she had direct contact with the powers that be and wanted the information about it. Wesley confronts Lila, who admits that she used him to separate Angel and his team from Lauren by making sure he overheard her phone call about Cordelia so that they could extract the information from Lauren. As Connor guards Cordelia as she sleeps, Angel watches over Cordelia's empty bed. So, what did we think of this episode?
It was a thing. All the particular action and the particular events. Ugh. Ugh.
Yes. We have a couple of things in this episode that are kind of important. So at one point, Cordelia is going through her yearbook, and she's reading the things that people wrote in it, and there's like stuff about, the school burning down, and a giant snake, and thanks for the flaming arrows.
Yeah.
Which is obviously
a bit of stuff that we need to catch her up on.
Which is obviously a reference to Graduation Day Part 2 from Buffy, which was the end of Season 3, if you don't remember, where they had to fight Mary Wilkins, who turned into a giant snake.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, yes. Gunn is worried that Cordelia is actually going to turn him into a rat, like she keeps threatening, which is quite funny.
Yeah. Depending on how far the powers kind of go. As it seems, it just seems to be a complete reset. There hasn't been any sort of sequence of her specifically remembering certain visions, unless Lauren reads them from her. And even then, it was kind of a case of, hmm, what exactly is Cordelia capable of? Aside from kicking ass, because that sticks around.
Because, yeah, apparently she still knows how to fight, which, that's handy.
Hooray for muscle memory.
Alrighty. So, for international titles for this one, we have a few interesting ones, actually. So, in Czech, it translates as Walking to Bethlehem, which I don't mind. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In Finnish, it translates as Cordelia's Song, which
because she sings.
Absolutely. In French, it translates as Lies and Truth.
The thing that Cordelia is concerned about.
In German, it translates to Heading Towards Hell.
But then, of course, in this series, when aren't we?
It's true. In Hungarian, it translates as Pilgrim of Bethlehem. In Italian, it translates to Approaching Bethlehem. In Brazilian Portuguese, it's just Slouching Towards Bethlehem. In Russian,
direct.
Yes. In Russian, it translates as On the Way to Bethlehem.
Oh, there you go. A little lighter tone to it. On the way to Bethlehem to see everything burn in flames.
In Latin American Spanish, it translates as The Second Coming.
Mm-hmm.
And in Spain Spanish, it translates as Without Memories.
Oh gosh damn it, Spain! You ruined the whole show.
Yes, so this was quite a fun episode. Maybe fun's not the right word, but it's a good episode. Although it is one of those that you can argue isn't like super important. There's not really a ton in it that kind of you could skip this episode and not really lose anything.
There might be the occasional question of, wait a minute, why is that character back? And you can maybe throw it into a little quick flashback sequence of, oh yeah, she mysteriously kind of came back. We don't exactly know the reason why, but she's also lost all of her memory.
Yes. So, if there's nothing else to add about this episode, next week we'll be discussing the episode called Supersymmetry. Okay. So, Fred is going to have an article published in like a science journal, and she's going to be invited to speak at a symposium where a portal's going to open and bad things are going to come through.
Oh, of course. Because no matter what happens, if they use the idea of random portals opening up, they're going to use it again.
Let's just say, some things are going to happen. Anyway.
I would not be surprised.
Okay. So, until next time, I've been Paul.
And I've been Dave.